Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. My salutations to everyone present here. Pranam, good evening. There was one major Trivedi in Indian Army. He wrote a letter to his daughter, who was 8 years old, and in the war, the major passed away. The child was 8 years old and had her father's letter. This letter, the child used to take every now and then, read, feel inspired. Whenever she feels low, whenever she feels weak, she'll go back, because that was her father's last letter to her. She had that and she would read. The kid grew up to be 24 today. And at 24, she went around meeting her dad's friends who were in the army and talking to their children, saying, what are the letters your father has written? Please give, please give. And some of the letters are the last letters, because the soldier's life is absolutely uncertain. So the last letters collected, and she brought out a book. Someone writes to you for the last time, that must be very precious, isn't it? Last time, if someone writes to you. We preserve it like anything. A letter which my Guru wrote to me, Gurudev Chinmayananji, reached me after his Samadhi. He passed away. After 4 or 5 days, I received that letter. He wrote it from San Jose. And we got the news he passed away and all that, and then I get now, imagine how precious is that letter to you. You know you won't get it again from him. We preserve them. We pay attention. The last words, the last letter has great sentiments, great value. We treasure it very deeply. Sadhana Panchakam, the text we are discussing next few sessions, is the last work of Adi Shankaracharya. Last work. After that, Shankara said he is done with his manifestation. Think. After working, after traveling across the country a couple of times, after writing the commentaries on Prasthanatraya, after conducting innumerable debates, and the composition of slokas on nature, on rivers, on mountains, on gods, devas, on Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. What he has composed, brilliant. And the last of it, when he decided to say, okay, I am done. I've played my role. It's over. I am done. He wrote Sadhana Panchakam. 5 verses. 5 verses on sadhana. 5 verses, but it has 80 points. 40 points. 8 points in each verse. The composition is so brilliant. A new initiative can also gain what he needs to gain, and a deeply evolved. Someone who could be at the threshold of divinity can also stay inspired. Imagine a work done keeping a newcomer in mind and the highest evolved. We have to talk a Vedantic lecture to Bal Vihar and senior citizen. Try. Not going to be easy. What do I speak to him? It should be inspiring, and at the same time it should inspire the highest. And this composition is such that it inspires the newcomers, new initiatives, and also it inspires ardent seekers, advanced seekers. It inspires. Before we go into this text, I want to tell you one strange anecdote. You know the story you must have heard, the rabbit and the tortoise? You guys also heard the same story? Tortoise and rabbit? Immortal, I think that is. When I was a child, they told me the same story. There was rabbit and tortoise which had a race. All seems to be familiar with that story. Rabbit and tortoise. So the race happened. The first race, what we know the story, tortoise won. But everything has an improvement, so we change the story a bit now. The first race, it happened on the land. The rabbit did not sleep. Rabbit went through, won the race. The tortoise looked at the rabbit and said, "This is not fair. You have chosen a pitch, a field which is convenient to you. Let's do it at the river. And then let us see who wins." So the second race was on the river. The tortoise was on the river, and the rabbit and the tortoise went through. Because the field matters, where you play the game. This time, tortoise won the race. Now, who's the winner? Once the rabbit won the race, second time, the tortoise won the race. Who is the winner now? They said, "Okay, we will finalize it now. We'll decide the winner. Whoever reaches home first, you go by the river if you want, or road, whichever, land. Whoever reaches home first is the winner." Tortoise agreed, said, "Okay." And the rabbit started running home. Tortoise just pulled the 5 limbs inside. What did the tortoise do? Pulled the 5 limbs inside. Home. The tortoise doesn't have to go. Once the tortoise withdraws its limbs, it is at home. Think. It doesn't require a home. The shell is its home. You just withdraw, you're home. You understand? If you just withdraw, we are home. If we do not know to withdraw, we'll be running like the rabbit. Running like the rabbit, go, run, 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 run. Sadhana is to art of withdrawing. Withdraw from the unwanted. Withdraw from the unnecessary. Have the discrimination. What is real, what is unreal. Viveka Shakti. Nitya Nitya. What is permanent, what is impermanent. That ability should be there. And once we have that ability, what is permanent, what is impermanent, we would respond accordingly. That is wisdom. Responding. Once we have that Viveka Shakti with us, we will respond accordingly. So we can also be home. So our sadhana is to take us home. Small h, big O, big M, small e. Small h, big O, big M, small e. How do you call that Om? O-M. Home. Let's go home. Which is our home? Sadhana teaches us to go home. We have been like a rabbit, running and running and running and running and running. Since when? Let's get back home. This is a lovely text which guides us how to go back home. Go back to one's own self. Amma, you will do the chanting? Verse by verse? I wanted to tell you, from yesterday I've been listening to your chanting. Very inspiring, please do it. Vedo nityam adiyatam. You chant and we will repeat.
Line by line?
Yeah, go ahead.
Vedo nityamadhiyatam.
Vedo nityamadhiyatam.
Taduditam karma swanushtiyatam.
Taduditam
Karma swanushtiyatam. Vedo nityamadhiyatam. Vedo nityamadhiyatam. Taduditam karma swanushtiyatam. Taduditam karma swanushtiyatam. Tene shasya vidhiyatam apachitih kamye matistyajyatam. Tene shasya vidhiyatam apachitih kamye matistyajyatam. Papaughav paridhuyatam bhavasukhe doshonusandhiyatam. Papaughav paridhuyatam bhavasukhe doshonusandhiyatam. Atmecha vyavasiyatam nijagruhat turnam vinirgamyatam. Atmecha vyavasiyatam nijagruhat turnam vinirgamyatam. Let us chant together. Vedo nityamadhiyatam taduditam karma swanushtiyatam. Tene shasya vidhiyatam apachitih kamye matistyajyatam. Papaughav paridhuyatam bhavasukhe doshonusandhiyatam. Atmecha vyavasiyatam nijagruhat turnam vinirgamyatam.
Vedo nityam adiyatam. Study Vedas daily. Nityam adiyatam. Consistently, daily, regularly, read Vedas, study Vedas. This is the meaning of the first line. Vedo nityam adiyatam. What is Vedas? Veda means what? Vedas are the mantras which came to certain people when their mind was silent. It revealed itself to those minds which became still. A still mind, not wandering mind, not agitated mind, not a mind which was thinking of hundreds of things, a mind which has become still, a mind which has become quiet. Vedas were revealed to those minds, meaning when the thoughts are no more there, the mind is a kind of still. In that mind, certain things got revealed. That revelation is called Vedas. Vedas are not a text born from human intellect. It is a text which was revealed when the human intellect was silent. Please remember, it's not something which is born out of human intellect. When you and I write an essay, it's coming from our intellect. When we do a play, when we do a letter, etc., it comes from our human intellect. The intellect thinks and writes. Vedas did not come that way. Vedas came when the mind itself was quiet. When the intellect itself was quiet, it was revealed. You will understand it easier because you are familiar with one word today, download. Download. When the human intellect becomes silent, certain downloads happen. From the divine, it gets downloaded. For you to understand, Vedas are divine downloads. When the human intellect was silent, it revealed. Obviously, all can't understand it because a kind of stillness is necessary, a level of meditation is necessary to grasp it. We need people of highly evolved nature to teach us. One of the most striking contribution of Acharya Shankara is he gave back to us Veda as pramana. Now that's not ordinary. Made a population wake up to Vedas as pramana. Pramana means authority. If I say something, if it is in line with the Vedic thought, then that is acceptable. If I say something which contradicts the Vedic vision, Vedic thought, then it is not acceptable. So many teachers came. So many saints came. When do we accept them? We accept when they say something which is in line with the Vedas. What they say has reference to Vedas. Then we say, yeah, correct. We all believe in God. Okay. The God you believe, or the way in which you believe in God, is it approved by the Vedas? Does it have a connection with the Vedic vision? And then yes. If it doesn't have, then we are lost. So we don't accept them. So this authority for the Vedas, Acharya Shankara played a very vital role in making the Hindus understand your books are too beautiful and they are eternal. Since it didn't come from a human mind, it came when the human mind was quiet. It is a divine, and that has to be interpreted well, and that's your strength. Imagine books which were downloaded from the divine, and we don't even know much about it. So what happens when I commit myself to Vedas? When I commit to Vedas, the human evolves to divine. What happens when I commit to Vedas? When I study Vedas daily, what happens? When I study daily, what happens to me? What will be the outcome if I study Vedas daily? You and I, who are human, we will become divine. It is a science. It's not a book like what we think. It's not even a book. It is a very deep science of transformation. A science which can transform human to divine. You know how we should rate success in somebody's life or in our own life? How much we have evolved. That should be the yardstick to measure success. Not how many cars I have, not how much property I have, not how popular I am, not how famous. Born human, have you moved towards divine? Born human. And if we have evolved towards divine, we have succeeded in our birth, in our growth. Otherwise, that life was not really well lived. Born human, by the time death happens, we must be divine. A book which can transform us from human to divine is Vedas. It is a science transforming limited to unlimited, transforming finite to recognize that it was infinite. So the first instruction, study Vedas daily. Chanting is lovely. The sound by itself has an effect on the mind. It changes. The regular chanting, properly done, will impact the mind when it is properly done. Sound has an impact on the mind. Sound. Soldiers have to go to war, play flute. Inspiration. Let's play flute. When soldiers have to go to the war, play flute. They will stop, sit and pray, meditate. Flute is an instrument which can calm you down. Veena, Goddess Saraswati, Veena. Sitar, that cannot generate a mood for war. That generates a mood of quietening yourself, calming yourself down. Sound has an impact on the mind. Soldiers going to war, the drumbeat, the bugle, the trumpet. See the mood, the sound, and the impact in the mind. Think. Sound has an impact. So Vedic mantras, when properly chanted, by itself it has a great impact on the mind. First point. But if you know the meaning of it, and then you chant, you have double benefit. Not just it has an impact on the mind to be better, but it helps you to grow. It helps you to evolve. So study Vedas daily means commit to spiritual literature daily. Commit. To all young people here, you have come to Mahakumbh, something which happens in 144 years. None of us will be there. Maybe some of us will be recycled. We'll come back. Some may not. For Mahakumbh next time. So, but you're in a very beautiful place. That doesn't happen every day. It happens once in 144 years. Now, you have taken a dip on a holy place, on a holy occasion. Why I'm telling you that is today is being an auspicious day, absolutely spiritual. Commit today. It is a commitment you're making to yourself. Commit today. Commit what? Vedo nityam adhyatam. I would study scriptural literature every day. And since most of you were already introduced to Adi Shankara, I'm not going into his life. That's why I went to the end of Shankara's life. Because you're Shankar Dut and you've gone through the camps, you know his life. And you know some of his works. Maybe not in detail, but you know, Shankara wrote this, Tattva Bodh, Atma Bodh, Vachagovindam, and so many Panchakams. All these books are preliminary books which we need to study, Prakarana Grantha. So to you I would say, on this auspicious day, you already had a snan, commit yourself today. Towards the end of this session, I will ask you to sit quietly for 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes, all you need to do is commit yourself to the study of Vedas or Vedic related books. In your case, to Shankara's literature. Commit. You have no idea what it will do to you in time. How much it would benefit if you are committing to that study daily. Daily. We give importance to food every day. Part of it. Food, water. We see these are all essentials in life. Somehow we have missed. Now you guys can't afford to do that. You have a responsibility. You are carrying a divine message. Messengers for his work. You should be well equipped with knowledge. Should be well informed. Shankar Dut has to be well informed. What our books are, some of it you can have discussions like this, some of it you can do self-study. But commit yourself to the study today. What is that commitment? That every day I will read, I will study. How many minutes? Maybe 10. I'm not asking more. 10 minutes daily. Morning you read. 10 minutes. When you're going back to sleep, just before sleep, do a little introspection. This is a very powerful benefit. It benefits immensely. That what I have studied in the morning and how I have lived my life, was that relevant? What I studied, did I apply it in my life? Do that introspection for 5 minutes in the end. Before you doze off, Before one goes to sleep, do introspection for 5 minutes. This is the commitment you have to make. That you will study every day. Every day. Few minutes. 10 minutes, let us say. The rest 23 hours plus do what you want. But 10 minutes study. And in the end of the day, at least for 5 minutes, introspect. This is what I read, Tattva Bodh in the morning, and this is what Shankara said there. Did I manage to practice a bit of it today? Or did I understand it? Or did I even contemplate upon it? Mananam. Reflect upon it. Did I do it? Or I just heard? Or I just read and dropped it? 5 minutes, end of the day, do introspection. Friends, you commit this today, you see after 1 year, your level of understanding, your level of transformation. You can mark it. These books are very powerful books. So every day if you commit to study at least for 10 minutes, and in the end of the day, 5 minutes introspection of your day. This, if you do, great change will happen. This commitment you make today. It so happened. Vedo nityam adhyata. Read, study, discuss, reflect every day. 10 minutes. The content is so powerful. You know what it does? Once you read or you heard, the content is such that it will come back to you a couple of times in the day. Mind, after all, will bring that thought back again and again and again. That means you are reflecting on a Vedic content. You are reflecting on a divine download. When a human mind itself has become quiet, what was revealed, you're contemplating on it. Thinking of it. Couple of times when you contemplate, clarity comes. Clarity comes. And then you know, once the clarity comes, you own it. It becomes yours. You have started, yeah, this I have understood, this I am living. So the first point is, Vedo nityam adhyatam tatuditam karma swanushthiyatam. Tatuditam karma swanushthiyatam. Whatever is prescribed to practice, that you should. One very busy man, very busy, rabbit type, extremely busy. This guy went to Gurudev and he said to my teacher, Swami Chinmayananji, taking that name is not that easy always for a student. So I would use the word Gurudev. When I use the word Gurudev, you should understand I'm talking about Swami Chinmayananji. Okay. So he went and asked Gurudev, how much time one should meditate daily? How much time one should meditate daily? Question. How much time one should meditate daily? Gurudev said, 24 hours. How much time should I meditate daily? His answer was straight. He said 24 hours. 24 hours to meditate? How? Possible? Then he said something more. He said, how you live today will reflect in your meditation tomorrow. Get this clearly. Let this sink in. How you live today will reflect in your meditation tomorrow. If you have lived today cheerfully, if you have lived today balanced mind, if you have lived today very attentive, body, mind together, these are all different sadhanas. If you manage to do all this, stay balanced, very cheerful, accepting what comes as is prasad, living. If you manage to live well today, tomorrow your meditation would be deep. Tomorrow's meditation depends upon how I lived today. If I managed my day perfectly, tomorrow my quietude would be deep, still. So this is what he meant by 24 hours. So what we study in Vedas, we should start applying. Tatuditam karma swanushtiyatam. Whatever is the instructions given in those books, we should continuously attempt practicing it. See, we cannot practice everything at one time. But we should pick up one or two and saying, in next 15 days, in next 21 days, or next 2 months, these two values, what the Vedas said, I will put myself into it fully. I give myself maybe 2 months to master this value. For next 2 months, only this value. Come what may, whatever value you choose. Come what may. Practice, practice, practice. After continuously practicing it, you mastered it. Go to the next value that way. So what the Vedas talk about, Tatuditam karma swanushtiyatam, what is described in the Vedas, what we need to put it into practice, that should be practiced. Not just study of Vedas and not practicing. What we study, we must bring it into practice. And it is not practical to bring into practice everything we study immediately. It takes time. You and I have gone off the track long ago. We need to take a U-turn. We need to take a U-turn. And fortunately for most of us, that U-turn has happened. Otherwise, we won't be here. You won't be attending Advaita camps if that U-turn has not happened. That U-turn has happened. Now the lost distance has to be gained. It will take time. So you can't practice every value immediately, but pick up 1, 2, 3 and say, this I will not compromise. Next 2 months, my whole effort would be to master it. It can be anything. It can be keeping time. It can be handling anger. It could be jealousy. Whatever. I said, this in 2 months' time I will conquer. Put your best effort for it. That is sadhana to overcome. So study Vedas daily and apply what you have studied into practice. This we must do. Then we will get home. We have 5 minutes more. Sit straight. Don't touch one another. Spread out if necessary. Because when we are sitting, let your energy be only with you, not rubbing one another. In satsang, please keep that in mind. That when you sit in satsang, unless there is no space, as far as possible, sit without rubbing each other. That's very important. So, spread out, sit, keep your back straight. What I told you is what we are going to commit. I would study Adi Shankara works daily, at least for 10 minutes. And I would introspect end of the day, how my day was. Did I do reflection on what I studied? This is a commitment you are going to make. So gently close your eyes. Close your eyes, gently. Don't hold your eyes tight. Relax. Relax, relax. And stay as far as possible still. Don't move. Don't move. Sit still. Check your teeth. Some of you may hold it tight. Loosen it. Back straight. Now, make that commitment to yourself in these moments of silence, in that Tirthraj Prayag, in this Tirtha Kshetra, on an auspicious day. We are committing to Sadhana Panchakam, and we would put the first instruction into practice daily. Now, for next few minutes, we will be sitting still, and you will determine deeply this commitment. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you very much.